So a week and a half ago, I had my lawn aerated. You know, this is late September, and I have some bare spots in the yard from the dogs, like running and scratching around a lot. And then after I had the lawn aerated, I just went over it with the spreader and overseeded. Didn't really do much else in this spot, other than I did put some starter fertilizer down after the overseed, but just wanted to see what would happen. And as you can tell, like the seeds that fell on the surface here, not hardly anything really happening. Uh, so perhaps some topsoil or lawn soil would have helped in that area, but where the aerator got into the ground and got those core plugs out, we see that the grass is actually doing quite well. The seeds that fell into the holes have already germinated and starting to grow nicely. So it hasn't even been 2 weeks yet. I live on the Front Range of Colorado and just put down a mixture of fescue and Kentucky bluegrass. There might have been some ryegrass in the mix as well. So from what I understand, it takes a while for Kentucky bluegrass to germinate. So perhaps those seeds might start to pop in another week or two. But yeah, so clearly, if you do just a kind of the bare minimum like I did here, you'll see some good results in those aeration holes, but not too good in the rest of the spot. And this is kind of hard pan. You know, even though I've been watering this every day, like it gets really hard right there. So really just in this spots like these, probably just be better off, you know, after you do the normal aerator with the machine, get your hand manual aerator and just plug some extra holes here. And then when you do the overseeding, maybe throw some extra seeds on spots like these, and then probably add a thin layer of topsoil or lawn soil on top of that, which helps provide nutrients to the seeds, as well as it helps it absorb water and stay moist during the time from overseeding to germination. It's really important that you don't let the seeds dry out, because if they dry out after this process begins, then they're going to die and you won't have any grass there. So keeping the area moist is very important. So that's where topsoil, or maybe peat moss, some people like to put peat moss on top, would help with that type of situation. But for anyone curious what will happen if I just throw seeds down, well, this is what happens. And I've been watering this area at least 2 or 3 times a day, at least, since I did the overseeding. And it's late September, but the temperatures have been a little bit above normal for this time of year. Mid and even upper 80s on some days, so quite warm, but not too bad considering the effort I put into it and what I was actually expecting. So this is just kind of more of an experiment. The backyard is basically owned by the dogs here. They're going to run around and, you know, damage it up anyway. So I wasn't like really trying to put forth a ton of effort to go for perfection here, but I just wanted to make, you know, some small improvements. Let's go check out this area. So here I had a tree cut down a couple years ago, and the stump grinded, although I don't think they really did a good job of that. They didn't really get too deep with the grinder here, unfortunately. But in this area, one thing I did a little differently was I tried to spread out some lawn soil on top of the seeds, which seems to have helped. I see seeds not just in the holes, but just kind of in other spots. I see patches of grass starting to come up. So I think that's evidence that using the lawn soil, in addition to just throwing the seeds down, it's going to help some. All right, and that's all. Thanks for watching.